Alright, peace to you, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Now, in today's video, I want to speak about the journey of what it's like being a Muslim and what the doctrine does to you, and kind of my journey and how things have been for me ever since I've adopted the faith and ever since I've started to take it more and more seriously. Because really, of course, I would say to people just so that it's easy for them to understand that I was born in a Muslim family, but really, you are born a Muslim. Every baby is born submitted to God. There's no atheist baby. There's no idolatrous baby. Every baby, every animal, everything in its natural state is submitted to God. One God. Everything believes in the Tawheed, the one God. And I understand it from that perspective, but like, you really don't adopt the faith. You really don't come to the faith until you choose it, until it enters your heart. You know, God talks about how faith has not entered into the hearts of certain people. When the faith enters your heart, then you really, really become a Muslim. Once you reach maturity and you choose to become a Muslim. And it's like, just ever since I've chosen that path at the age of 14 to now, I'm 21 by the mercy of God. I'm a full grown man. I just see the changes it's brought in my life. And I just wanted to talk about that. I want to discuss that. I want to reflect on that whole thing. Now, really, Islam, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to stick to it. And the quote I want you to keep in your mind, it's not, I've never heard it anywhere, but I'm just going to give it to you right now. Just something I thought of in my head. Don't give up on Islam and it won't give up on you. Don't give up on Islam and it won't give up on you. Or if we're going to get rid of the Arabic catchphrases, don't give up on submission to God, and submission to God will not give up on you. And what I mean by that is that this belief, I'm telling you, the beauty and the fruits within it is unlike anything in the world. My wife notices it, I notice it, she notices it with herself, I notice it with my character. As we stay on the tremendous tradition and we strive within it, with discipline, and we try to become better and better Muslims and better servants and better submitters to the Most High, the one God, we see how it brings blessings in our life and how it changes us. Just old habits that were in ourselves that we're slowly working our way out of, immaturity, childishness, vanities, sinfulness, whatever it may be, you slowly start to work those things out. And the message of today's video, ladies and gentlemen, is stick to Islam. Keep with Islam and don't give up on Islam and it won't give up on you. This is a journey, men. This is for life. You stay with it and I promise you it's going to bless you. And about Islam in particular, the thing that makes us different from a lot of these vain philosophies that people follow, the New Age kind of thing, the red pill, just a lot of these kinds of things, is that it's based in discipline. And specifically I'm talking about the New Age, kind of these modern spiritualist religions. They get a lot of influence from the East and they kind of just turn into this crazy nonsense, the New Age thing. You know, the thing with Islam, true Islam, following the doctrine, the tremendous tradition, it demands that you conform to it. It is based in discipline, in truth, and it demands that you go down to its standard. Not go down, go up to its standard. You rise up to the platform, and you constantly doing that, trying to increase your standard and become better and better and fitting yourself more and more in line with the doctrine. You conforming to it. It teaches you discipline. It gives you character. It gives you strength. It gives you dignity and nobility. It also gives you honor and just a grace towards you. As opposed to, let's say, these New Age religions, a lot of it is conforming to yourself and your own vain desires. It's more contemplative and not really in the deep sense, because of course within Islam there is contemplation. We contemplate God, we contemplate the scriptures, but in a vain sense where you're contemplating yourself. It's a lot about you and your feelings and riding every wind of doctrine and every wind of passion. It's about you and it focuses on you, whereas Islam, it focuses on the faith itself, and you conform to its standard rather it coming to you. And you will see when you follow these, and Islam is the best rendition of it, but there are other religions in the world that they have blessings within them insofar as they represent the tremendous tradition. You'll find this in traditional Christianity. You'll find this within Orthodoxy. You'll find this within traditional forms of just even Judaism as well. Of course, because these religions, these belief systems, they do have some resemblance to the tremendous tradition. Of course, there's deviation within them a lot, but they do have a resemblance to the tremendous tradition, and they carry these transcendental perennial philosophies and systems. They demand you to conform to it, and when you do that, you will see the blessings it incurs. And that's why I'm telling you, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it, and you will see how it transforms you. Keep fasting, keep praying, keep reading the Word of God. Keep conforming yourself to its standard. Keep not letting up on yourself and getting harder and harder and more strict with yourself. Keep holding yourself to its standard. And I'm telling you guys, we're all going to be okay. We're going to be all right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be all right. And God is going to bless us. And you're going to see how as the days go by, as the months go by, as the years go by, you're not even going to recognize yourself. And I'm telling you, you keep fasting, you keep praying, you keep reading the Word of God, you're going to be a gangster. You're going to be a G. This is really, really the way of life. And I've seen how it's developed me in my masculinity, it's developed me in my manliness, even from the beginning of when I've married my wife. Just so many immature things, immature, foolish habits. Even you'll see the development. I'm sure you guys are going to see it through my videos as well. If you watch some of my older videos to, well, how I'm speaking now, how I'm presenting myself now, that there's a lot of change, there's a lot of development. This has come from me sticking to the tremendous tradition. And that's why I ask you guys, or at least I implore you, not for me, but for your own soul, stick to it, and it will develop you. It will turn you into the man or the woman you want to be. The tremendous tradition is the belief, the ideology that turns stupid, young, foolhardy boys into strong, powerful, masculine men, and it turns nasty, immature, vain girls into fine, righteous, beautiful women. It will turn you into that. Stick to it, and it will stick with you. Don't give up on it, and it won't give up on you. This is a journey towards the Most High, and every single day you're developing. And I see everything in my life in that lens. I see everything in that lens of development. What is the Most High going to teach me now? What what bad habit, what bad mindset, what foolish thing in my mind, in my character am I going to have to give up now to become an even better servant of the Most High? What am I going to have to do now? What am I going to, let's say, scrolling Facebook a little bit less, or just little things like that, not being so immature, not being so quick to anger, cleaning up my filthy language, all these things. I do it because a tremendous tradition, it requires that of me. And I'm not saying that if you do these things, let's say you scroll Facebook or you curse, you're going to go to the fire. Of course not. But I'm saying that we can always better our standard. We can always be even better and more righteous servants. And I'm sorry if this seems like a rant. I'm sorry if this seems crazy, but I'm just really, I want you guys to take into your heart and your mind and really grasp what kind of a blessing it is that God has brought you to this truth. God has made you understand that the Quran is the word of God. God has made you understand that the Quran is his word. God has also made you understand that this the worship of one God is the most important thing. He's made you also reject and go away from that trap of following into the hadith and that hadith and religion. You follow the word of God, you're on the tremendous tradition, and hold that blessing tight. Hold on to it dearly and never let it go, and it will hold on to you dearly as well. You will develop within it, and it's going to turn you, like I said, to the man you want to be and the woman you want to be, and never give up on it. This is the fact that God has allowed you to come to this conclusion. We talk to so many people who follow this hadith-based religion, and perhaps they may be justified, perhaps they may be right before God, but they're really not on it like we are. They really don't get it like we do. The fact that God has brought that into your heart and has made the faith fair to you in your heart, you've come across a treasure trove. You've come across a pot of gold. You've come across a mine filled with diamonds, and you better milk that, and you better get every single penny's worth of that diamond and that gold. Stick to it, men. Stick to it, men. This is the way of life. We're all returning back to God, and we best return back in the most honorable state. And not even just for the afterlife, although it's the most important thing. Even in this life, it's going to bless you in this life. You're going to have a true righteous grace to you that nobody else is going to have unless they be upon the same tradition as you. So stick to it, and it will stick with you. But anyways, men, that's really all I have to say on the matter. I hope this talk was a blessing, and I hope this beautiful scenery was a blessing as well. Decided to record this video today in this forested area, just remembering God and breathing in the fresh oxygen that's released from all these trees and all this foliage. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. Hope it was a blessing. And yeah, peace to you. Remember, deceit abounds, so keep your eyes wide open. Peace out. Assalamu alaikum, men. My name is Walid Naeem, and I have dedicated my entire life towards spreading the truth about the words of God. And I don't know about you, but personally, I have grown sick and tired of all these mainstream religions, and specifically the mosques, which have utterly failed us. I'm fed up with them placing the words of man, specifically their fabricated hadiths, at a higher authority than God's holy scriptures, their lack of knowledge about conspiracy facts and realpolitik, and their complete ignorance of the true nature of our earth. I've had enough of their compromise, their weakness, their lame sermons which put people to sleep, their virtue signaling, their fear of facing any real persecution, and their willingness to let the quote-unquote secular atheist utterly trample over them. The atheists own all of the educational boards and teach their propaganda to every so-called Muslim and quote-unquote non-Muslim child here in the West. And now with the Toyota Corolla hoax, the atheist has successfully broken apart our communities and made us utter slaves to their government.
Our so-called quote-unquote Muslim sons are a bunch of wannabe hood rat gangsters who vape, drink, smoke weed, and party like animals. And our so-called quote-unquote Muslim daughters are not much different. They have no interest in hearing about the Word of God. They are all too busy YOLOing. This has all happened while the imams have been living very comfortably off of the hard-earned money of their community members in the donation bins. As stated before, I personally am completely fed up with this. The mosques have had all of the support, funding, enfranchisement, and time of our communities and have produced absolutely nothing. The atheist has made the so-called quote-unquote Muslim man his bitch. He has steamrolled him in every way possible. That is why I created Eyes Wide Open. This channel exists as a call to action for all of those strong believing men who trust in their Lord fully and refuse to compromise the Quran. It is time the true sons of Adam and the inheritors of the tremendous tradition, in other words, the true Quranic Muslims, to set up something for themselves and fearlessly stand up against the madness that is going on in the world. What you see with my channel right now is only the beginning. These short videos I make in my car are all that I have time for right now, working a full-time job. I scribble these together while at work and make these videos while running errands. But you ain't seen nothing yet. If God should will, I have so much more in store for Eyes Wide Open. I want this to be a platform for the believers. Just a couple of things I have planned for this channel is, firstly, creating scholarly books, documentaries, and essays to arm you guys with the intellectual firepower for dealing with all of our enemies. Secondly, I would like Eyes Wide Open to be a center for heavy activism, public and street preaching, going to City Hall, organizing protests, knocking doors, going to baseball, hockey, soccer, basketball, and other major sporting events and preaching to the people leaving the stadium, going to the totally failed mosques, synagogues, and churches and debating with their religious leaders, going to universities and debating the quote-unquote secular professors on their laughable so-called science, and much more. It's time the believers start to fight back and shake the cage of this disgusting system. My goal is to create a base for the believers. I want people to know of our name, that there are dedicated, zealous, and studious men who do not compromise the Word of God, and we are ready to take action. If we keep waiting for our mosque to do something about the real problems of this world, then we will be waiting until Judgment Day. We need to create something now, from the ground up. With that being said, may God bless us in all of our endeavors and guide us every step of the way. If this sounds like something you are interested in, and if you want to be a part of the movement, then you can help me out. My Patreon and PayPal are linked in the description of every video, and, God willing, if enough generous believers decide to fund this platform, then I can quit my full-time job and look for something part-time, or, even better than that, leave employment completely, which will give me more hours in the day to do this work. I do not care to be rich. All of that stuff is vanity anyways. But the fact of the matter is, my wife and I need to eat and have a roof over our heads. So, if you wish to support the cause, then I thank you sincerely for that and promise to fight with might and main in the cause of God for the believers. If you are not able to, hey, then I totally understand. Find somebody else who needs that money and give it to them. Give it out of fear of your Lord and in dread of that great and terrible day, which is coming to all of us. For all of the believers out there, the brothers and sisters who follow hard upon the truth, all I can say is much love to each and every one of you. May God reward you in this life and the hereafter. Praise goes to God alone. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Peace.